Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Gregg's Vintage Workshop. We're getting ready to start a new project here. It's a BK Precision Dynascan Corporation 2830 digital multimeter. I got this off of eBay back in early December. They sent it to me by mistake, the vendor. I had ordered a BK Precision function generator that I had seen, and they boxed this up instead and sent me this. And when I contacted the seller, he apologized and said, hey, just keep it. I'll send you the BK Precision function generator at no charge. So he did. So anyway, we got this, and it is a pretty nice little digital multimeter. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here for you guys. I mean, you can see it does ohms, it does volts, it does amps. If we work our way over here, we've got the low ohm scale, we got the high ohm scale, we got the DC amps, we got the AC amps, and the DC volts and the AC volts. You can see the volts there is done in volts, milliamps, and ohms. So the one thing I noticed when I had gotten it is the banana jack here is missing. This is for ohms and amps. It's actually a fused banana plug, and I've looked, I can't find one anywhere. So the plan is that I'm going to put a regular banana plug in there and fuse it internally inside the case. The volts is a good example of what it is, because the other one would have been the same. You see it comes out and it's got the fuse built right into it. And unfortunately, I'm missing the other one, so we got to do that. I'll take it apart, I'll recap it, I'm going to clean it up. It's dusty, it's dirty, it has an 82 on it, but overall I think that it's going to be okay. So let's get you on a tripod and start taking this one apart. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take the stand off of it. Stand uses just a screwdriver slot. You could actually use a dime. And a spring, obviously. So there's that side. Maybe I'll catch this one before it comes flying off. Like I probably should have done with that one. And like that, we're off. Okay, so let's look at it a little closer. Looks like we have two Phillips screws in the back. It has a power cord adapter. This did not come with a power cord, but the function generator uses the same exact power cord. So I can either use the cord for the function generator and swap between the two of them, because I don't know if this is available plug anymore. It's like a 3-pin, almost like the current computer type plugs we have today, but round. So I'll have to see about that. Or I can convert this to the standard computer type plug that we use today. So I'll have to make that decision. So let's go ahead and pull these screws out. A lot of yellowing on this housing from what it originally was. I saw David, the gentleman from Australia, use some peroxide to take yellowing off of a case. in a video the other day. There we go. Just need some persuasion. Some persuasion. Yeah, so that's the color it should have been, which is about what it is on the bottom. Alright. So there's the fuse holders. It looks like the cabinet's pretty open, so behind this area through here is all open, so I should be able to do something in there. Also right there, looks like there's some room. Looks like we got a few caps. There, over here. Not too many. So let's see what's holding various components in place. I see that they slide. Let me get a little closer view at this thing and I'll come back. I don't want to break something. Okay, so I decided to put you guys on a tripod. I think it'll give you a better view than the upper view that I was giving you. So what I found to release this, you can see that there's a little latch right here. Once I release that latch, it will pull out. I unplugged this connector here. I'm going to unsolder these 4 wires here so that I can slide it on out. Actually, if you want to get right down to it, I only need to unsolder the black and the green, because if I take the screw out here, these will come with it. So I think I'm going to take that screw out first while my soldering iron is heating up. And then that should allow those to pull out. In theory, anyway. This one is. This one not so much. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so guess I should have pushed those back in there, I guess, till I get those other wires unsoldered. So hopefully I'm keeping you guys in camera. I got some wire there. I think I'm just going to snip those off. Since I can't really see it, it don't want to come loose. It's obviously got a hook in it. So I'm just going to snip it right there, and I can fix it back. So that's the green and the black right there. Okay. So now I should be able to slide these out like that. Lift this up like that and slide it out like that. And I can spray some deoxit into these various switches, recap it, and calibrate it, and hopefully get this thing working again. That's what we got. There's a couple of calibration pots. I'll have to get something online to tell me how to calibrate it. I know the coil's good, because I did plug this in right after I got it. I couldn't wait just to see if it'd come on, and it did come on. So it wasn't 100% accurate, but then again, it hasn't been adjusted either. So, all right, so let's set this aside and take a look at this board. See what we got going on here. So this board is more the display board. I don't see a whole lot going on in there as far as caps are concerned. You see a little screw holding it in place, and I believe a little latch clasp right here, if you can see that. So let me pull that screw out. Screw. And there's the latch. And there's the board. Let's set this aside. It doesn't get damaged. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these screws back that I took out, because I don't want to forget where they go, or have them get lost, or have a cat jump up here and think he can play with the screws and then they come up missing. Okay, and I can take that glass out. It looks like it has a couple little clips that if I'm lucky I might be able to bend to get that glass out and clean it, because it's pretty grubby. We'll have to see, maybe. And then I got these leads here. I don't have to worry about pulling those out. Those should be fine. I'll just clean those well, and clean this well, and clean the outside well. I'll clean things up, check some of the resistances on the resistors, and get some caps in this thing maybe. I might check the caps and just see how they're reading. Sometimes it's just easier to change them. I will return. Well, alright folks, we're back on the BK Precision Dynascan 2830 digital multimeter, and what I've been waiting for, I haven't really done much to it since I started this video and ended that last little segment, although we are still on the same video. But what I did do was go through and check some components on it. The resistors all checked good, and the caps actually, you know, with them in circuit, did not test that bad. So I was originally not going to change them because I didn't have those sizes, but because this is probably at least 1970-ish, I decided that I wanted to change those caps anyway. So I ordered caps. I got some new Panasonic. This is a 470 microfarad at 25 volts, and then I've got some 220s at 25 volts. Now what's on here, this is a 470 at 25 volts, so I've got a direct replacement for that. This one is a 220 at 10 volts. I'm going to replace it with a 220 at 25 volts. This one is a 220 at 25 volts, obviously a direct replacement. And that one's a 220 at 10 volts. So I'm going to put a 220 at 25 volts there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this set up and change these out, and we'll go from there. The other thing that I did do, and I'll tell you this now too, this is a 2 amp at 1000 volt fuse. It's blown. It's no good. No continuity across it. I went online and started doing a search, and lo and behold, I found a 2 amp 1000 volt fuse. I took it didn't have the dimensions, I had a penny next to it. I took a chance. It's the exact fuse, so I'm perfect there. So I got that, so we're going to put that in there as well. And we'll lubricate all these switches with some deoxit. But let's go ahead and change out these caps. I'm going to change the 470 first. And I'll go ahead and do this on screen. Let me get a block of wood to prop this. I'll do this first one, so you can watch me do it, and then we'll move on. I'll do the remainders. I won't do that with you watching me, but you'll see the process. So let me blow you up a little bit here. There we go. Get where you can see this a little bit. Maybe, if I can get it to stand up. There we go, that's pretty good. Alright, so looking at this capacitor, the side closest to the outside edge is the negative side. So that's the way we'll have to make sure we put the new one in. So let me get my tip cleaned off. We'll see if we can get this one off. And there's that one off. Simple as that. Now the question is, do I have solder in my holes? And I think the answer to that is yes, I do. So I'm going to have to pull the solder out of the holes. I have some solder wick here that we'll use. So let's see if we can get this out of here. Alright, so we said negative to the outside edge. The negative is the one with the little highlight here with the minus signs in it. It's also the shorter lead between the two. Positive's the longer lead. So let's see if we can get this stuck in here. Alright, now that I got that loose, I'm going to set this down flat because it'll be easier for me to get it on there and get you centered. Put a little drop of flux on there. There we are. There's one on. Trim the ends off. There we go. There's the 470. I'll clean that up with a little alcohol. When I get finished, I'll do them all three. Let's go ahead and do the other ones. I'll do those off camera. And we'll be back. Okay, we're back. So there's the 470 right there. Here's a 220 here. Here's a 220 here. And here's a 220 here. This one, they were all through board except for this one. This one was not through board. This one, actually, I bent the legs. The one that came off had the legs bent. And it was on the surface, and that's the way I put this one back. So those are done. There's the ones I pulled out of it. Okay, so one of the things I thought I would do, just for the heck of it, I can't check it with this particular meter, and I can't check them in my ESR meter because the leads are too short. I was just going to check some of these old caps just to see how they checked out. And I replaced them with some nice Panasonic low ESR. I can't check the ESR on these, but we can at least see how they check out this way. So let's go ahead, and this is the 470. .503. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, it's higher than 470, but a little bit of tolerance on that, so that's not bad. But I don't know what the ESR is. The ESR could be high. All right, let's try this one. This is one of the 220s. Wow, look at that, 614. That was way, way, way high. Oh, wait a second, 440, 470. Still a 220, so that's way high. Another 220. $255. I mean, it's a little high. That one's not horrible. Let's see, which one did I do? I don't remember if I already did this one. I might have already done this one. Let's see. $251. So again, not horrible. They're not horrible, but I don't know what the ESR is on them. I'm gonna try this one again. $296. So that was actually pretty high. All right, so I'm not upset that I changed them. I mean, they're old enough that I think they need to be changed, and so I changed them. So that's where we're at. All right, let's get this out of here. Okay, so there we go. So now I'm going to change this fuse out. Get you back in camera. Zoom me back a little bit. There we go. Let's change this fuse out. I felt extremely fortunate to find this fuse on eBay. They only had one. I said it was the last one, and I got lucky and got it. I mean, it couldn't get much closer than that's for sure. It looks like it's going to be a perfect fit. Just like that, we're in like flint. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is shoot some deoxit in these switches. So let me get that. If I can get these where you guys can see what I'm doing. I'll hit a few of them at a time here. Okay. That should be pretty good. I'm going to go blow it off with some air. I'll be right back. Alright, so blew it off. I'm going to take some alcohol here and a swab and wipe off these areas on the back of this board where I had the flux. Alright, I think we're in pretty good shape. I'm using my Method antibacterial all-purpose cleaner that I always use. Always works well. I've sprayed it right on the rag. And let's kind of hit these buttons a little bit. That looks pretty good. I've got to get me a jack put in for the side that we're missing the jack on. We have the fused jack here for the volts. I believe it's the volts, and we're missing the one for the ohms. So let me figure out how I'm going to do this. I think what I'm going to do is just get me a jack, and I'm going to wire it directly to a fuse holder and wire that in place. Let me get something set up. Okay, so looking at this, this is the one that was missing. It says it uses a 2 amp fuse. This one said it uses a 1/16 amp fuse. This one's okay. Pretty sure it is anyway. We'll check it. This one uses a 2 amp fuse, so let me see what I got that I can use in this thing. Okay, so here's what I came up with. I've got this bigger one. I had smaller ones, but they were too small for these holes. So I've got this bigger one. It just kind of look kind of horse crappy compared with the one that's flush, but oh well. So be it. So I've got to put that one. I'm going to put that one there like that to insulate it. Then that's going to go on there like that. And the other one's going to go on the inside, and then we're going to screw it down, and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so here's the plan. So I've got that on there now, nice and tight. Got the insulator. What I did was I took one of these and I cut it in half, ground it down. That's the first half, the other half's on the inside. And now it's tightened down. Next thing I've done is I've got this end here. I'm going to solder it to this wire. Then it's going to go down there with a nut. The other end of this wire is going to go to this fuse holder. I'm going to solder it to the fuse holder. The fuse will be inside there. It's going to be a 2 amp fuse inside of there. And then the other wire will go to the lead that goes into the meter, and that's the way we're going to do it. So I will come back when I get that all together. I'm not going to make you painfully watch me do that, but that's what the plan is. Alright, let me show you what I got. So here we are. Again, we got that on there. Looks kind of hokey, but it'll work fine. Got it down in there. Got the wire soldered to the tab screwed down securely, soldered to my fuse holder, which has a 2 amp fuse in it. This is the wire that originally went to this fuse holder, and we're going to now solder the yellow wire there, put that one back in there, slide this all together. I got to get the other circuit board in there first. So I will go get that, and I will be right back. Okay, back with the LED board. Let's go ahead and get where you guys can see what I'm doing here. We'll slide this back in place. I just latched on the latch on the other side. Now I got to put this screw in right here, which is right here in my fingers. Okay, so that's in. Now we've got to get this other one soldered. Get it close enough. Get the board started in its slots. I'll zoom out a little bit for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. Get this board started in its slots. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to get my wire soldered in there. Let me get something to prop this up so you guys can see. And I'll go ahead and get this thing in there. Alright, now it's just a matter of me sliding this all back together again. Now I am. So I didn't feed this wire through this bracket like I should have, but I wasn't going to unsolder everything. So what I did was I took my soldering iron and I made a notch in the plastic right here that wire is now into, so that it doesn't get pinched by my bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this all together, finish shoving this in, solder those wires, and we'll be back. Okay, so here we go. Wires are all soldered back in place, brackets back on, fuses in there, as you can see, way up out of the way. We'll plug back in here. I think everything is ready to go. Looks like I need to clean off the switch contacts a little bit here with a brush. We'll do that. Alright, let me go get the housing. So the housing cleaned up pretty nice. I mean, I didn't get the yellowing off of it, but I did get it cleaned up. It looks pretty presentable, so I think that's what we're going to go with. Let's see if we can get it in here. So we got to get the board to go into the slots there. So we got to get them started in the slots. There we go. Now I think I'm in there. That's better. Alright, let me get my screws in the back. I think we'll end this video here and start up with the next one. Thank you for watching Gregg's Vintage Workshop, and I'll see you on part 2, where we'll do calibration and final assembly.